Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yesterday we have discussed about the difference amplifier. Did you solve the corresponding example, example 9.6? Hmm? Anyone? Okay, we have extended our discussion of the difference amplifier
Start.
to instrumentation amplifier. If you
Start.
solve, yes, please.
243.
Okay, I'll give you later on at the end of the class.
Yes, yes, sir.
So we will extend our discussion into instrumentation amplifier. If you solve or if you go through the example 9.6, you can see that it is difficult to obtain a high input impedance and a high gain in a difference amplifier with a reasonable resistor value. So this is one of the disadvantage of the difference amplifier. And in order to solve that disadvantage, we can use the buffer. We can use the buffer. So one solution is to insert a voltage follower or buffer between each source and the corresponding input. So if we rearrange the difference amplifier, that arrangement is called instrumentation amplifier. Instrumentation amplifier. And draw the difference amplifier first. Zero. So it was the difference amplifier. What we will do, we just insert buffer circuit or voltage follower. So what we can arrange, we can put another amplifier. This plus minus I1 and then I2. This is the I2. Is A1, A2, A3. Is R1, R2, R2, R3, R3, R4, this output can be V01 and this output can be V02. Then if you arrange the difference amplifier in this way, we can get the high gain with high input impedance with a reasonable resistor value. I mean, in kilo ohm range resistor value, we can get the high gain. So is it possible to analyze this circuit now? It's simple. You can see there are two amplifier A1, A2 is basically the buffer circuit, and the amplifier is A3. A3 is the amplifier. Okay. The two non-inverting amplifier A1 and A2. A1 and A2, two non-inverting amplifier, or we can say it's used in the input side in the difference amplifier, and A3 is the second one which will use as a amplifier stage or second stage. Okay. So we can start our analysis using the virtual short concept. So if we use the virtual short concept, the voltage at the inverting terminal of the voltage follower are equal to the input voltage. Like this one, and this one equal, and also this one and this one equal. So if we drive a current through R1, suppose if we consider the current here I1 current, if we consider is I1, then there will be no current here, is it? There will be no current here, there will be no current here, according to our ideal characteristics. So this I1 current should be flow through this one. So it will be I1 current. The loop current will be I1. So what we can write I1 equals to? Can anyone say what is I1 equals to? According to the virtual short concept, this node voltage is VI1 as well.
This is our this
I1, and according to virtual short concept, this is also VI2.
VI1 minus VI2
we can yes, we can simply write VI1 minus VI2 divided by R1. Is it clear to all of you? Simply we consider the virtual short concept. So this node voltage is the input voltage, and this node voltage is also the input voltage VI2. So the I1 is current passing through the R1 resistor. So voltage difference between these two nodes is VI1 minus VI2 divided by R1. And the same current should be passing flow through the R2, both R2 resistor. Both R2 resistor. Then if we calculate this one, we can consider a loop from here to here. So V01 will be VI1 plus I1 R2. If you consider this loop from here. So VI1 plus I1 R2. Then we can rearrange this one. VI1 equals to is VI1 and I2 R2. The current in the resistor R2 is also shown here, and output voltage of so this one is VI1 plus I1 R2, and this is the I2 minus I1 R1 minus I1 R1.
The I2 minus I1 R2.
Sorry, this is R2. This R2, and then since it is a non-inverting amplifier, we can write as 1 plus R2 by R1 multiplied by VI1 I1 and VI1 minus R2 by R1 VI2, R2 by R1 VI2. Similarly, we can write V02, this one is VI2 minus I1 R2, because we usually consider the current entering the node is positive and outgoing is negative. So here entering the node positive, outgoing is negative, and it will be 1 plus R2 R1 VI2 minus R2 by R1 VI1. Then from the difference amplifier, V0 is equals to V02 minus V01. So if you consider these two, it will be V02 minus V01 R4 by R3, R4 by R3 V02 minus V01. Then if you put the value of these two here, the resultant V0 will be R4 by R3 into 1 plus 2 R2, 2 R2 divided by R1 into VI2 minus VI1. So now we can easily the input signal voltage are applied directly to the non-inverting terminal of A1 and A2, which is the input impedance is very large. Ideally, we can say is infinite here and here. Ideally is infinite, and which is one of the desirable characteristics of the instrumentation amplifier. And the differential gain is function of the resistor R1. We can vary R1, and which can be easily using potentiometer. We can use easily potentiometer instead of R1, and thus providing a variable amplifier gain with the adjustment of only one resistor. And that will be more clear if you solve the example 9.8. Example 9.8. if you solve this one, you can get more clear understanding that how we can get the high gain differential differential high gain with high input impedance using reasonable resistor value. Reasonable resistor value. Okay. Then if we go on another new one, okay, there are some other a lot of application of the operational amplifier. If we consider a generalized inverting amplifier, we have discussed earlier inverting amplifier, a generalized inverting amplifier. Inverting amplifier. Generalized inverting amplifier is what? We can draw a inverting amplifier, this one. V0. This one. Z2. Z1. DI input and it's grounded. So this node voltage V1 is equals to 0 and this node voltage V2 is equals to 0. All these characteristics we know, yes, and the current is 0 here. Current is 0. So we know this is an inverting amplifier, is it? Since the input is connected to the inverting terminal, we know that this circuit is inverting amplifier. Is it clear? Hello? 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 Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So I just draw a generalized inverting amplifier. Is it or not? Since the input voltage is connected to the non-inverting terminal, this one, we can say this is a inverting amplifier. So based on the Z1 and Z2, the same circuit can be applicable in different way. Okay. Depend on the Z1 and Z2, the same circuit can be used in different application. Like if you use Z1 number 1, Z1 is R1 and Z2 corresponding to C2. The circuit will be behave like a integrator circuit. Integrator. Number 2, if you replace Z1 by C1 and Z2 is R2, then it will be a differentiator circuit. differentiator circuit. And also number 3, if you replaced Z1 by R1 and Z2 replaced by diode 1, D1 diode, it will be simple log amplifier. Log amplifier. Number 4, if you replace these two, if Z1 replaced by diode 1 and Z2 replaced by R, then it will be anti-log or exponential. Anti-log or exponential amplifier. You can derive, you can see this all these 4 types. Another special type of op-amp we can use another application. Is current to voltage and voltage to current converter. Okay. Another application is voltage to current converter. Voltage to current converter. Voltage to current converter. For example, if we may want to drive a coil in a magnetic circuit with a given current, then using a voltage source, we could use a inverting op-amp. Inverting op-amp like this one, we can draw a inverting amplifier, negative positive sign, the output, input resistance, and input resistance, and drive the magnetic coil, the magnetic field in this way. So this R2, R1 grounded. Here I1 is I2 and VI. So it's a simple inverting amplifier for drive a coil here in the magnetic circuit. And we know that there is no current here, So simply I1 is equals to I2 is equals to VI by R1. VI by R1. And from here we can say that the current I2 is directly proportional to the input voltage. Current I2 is directly proportional to the input voltage VI and is independent of the load impedance or resistor R2. there is no involvement of the resistor R2. So is load impedance independent of the load impedance. But here the another one side of the load impedance is not grounded. So maybe we can reconsider another inverting circuit with load connected to the ground. I mean, which happened practically. So we can consider another one inverting circuit minus plus input impedance, feedback impedance, output, then we can take a ZL load which is connected to the ground. R2, R2, R3 is I3, which is IL, and here there is zero current. There is also zero current. Feedback resistance RF, maybe is I2, this R1 is I1, input is VI, and it can be I4. Okay, then one side of the load device might need to be at grounded. So we consider as ground on side of the load. Usually which happened in the practical application. So now we can analyze this one, and we will show that the load current, the IL will be independent of the load ZL. We will see that the load current is independent of the impedance of the ZL. So in this case, one terminal of the load device which has an impedance of ZL is grounded, and the inverting terminal of 1. Now this point is not the virtual ground. This one, this is not virtual ground. We can say is V1, and this one is V2. So we can use the virtual short concept, and from the virtual short concept we can say that V1 is equals to V2, and this V2 is basically this node and this node are same. So what we can say, this is VL, we can say this is VL, so this will be equals to VL as well, VL. This node and this node and this node, all same node. Same node, VL. And VL is equals to ILZL. ILZL. Because VL is a voltage across ZL. And we know that since there is no current here, then I1 is equals to I2. I1 is equals to I2. So what is I1 here? Anyone? Hello? Can you hear me?
VI divided by R1.
VI
Divided by R1.
VI divided by V. Why VI divided by R1? VI minus
Vi
V1.
minus V1.
হ্যাঁ, সো V1 এর V1 রিপ্লেস করবা V2 দিয়ে, V2 রিপ্লেস করবা VL দিয়ে, VL রিপ্লেস করবা কি IL ZL দিয়ে। তাহলে VI মাইনাস বেসিক্যালি দিস ওয়ান IL ZL divided by R1. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Basically this one VI minus V1, or you can say VI minus V2, or you can say VI minus VL. Then you can write VI minus ILZL by R1. Similarly, I2 equals to V1 minus V0, or V2 minus V0, or VL minus V0, or ILZL minus V0. So ILZL minus V0 divided by RF. Feedback this one. Okay. And then if we consider the node here, this node, then if we apply the KCL, so entering this node, current is equals to V0 minus ILZL, V0 minus ILZL divided by R3, and outgoing current is IL, so is equal to IL. Another outgoing current is I4, or you can say this is IL, and I4 is basically ILZL divided by R2, ILZL divided by R2. And then if we find the value of V0 minus ILZL, something, and put this V0 value in this, then you will find RF by R1, RF by R1 into IL ZL minus VI divided by R3 equals to IL plus ILZL divided by R2. Then if you consider the IL equals to, if you combine IL, you can simplify this equation into IL with RF ZL RF divided by R1 R3 ZL minus 1 minus ZL by R2 equals to BI into RF by R1 R3. And then in order to make the IL, in order to make this IL independent of ZL, in order to make the load current IL independent of ZL, we need to design in such a way so that RF by R1 R3 RF by R1 R3 is equals to 1 by R2. You can see that if this one, if this constant and is equal, then we can vanish the ZL. So in order to make IL independent of ZL, we need to design the circuit in such a way so that the ratio of RF divided by R1 R3 is equals to 1 by R2. If this condition fulfilled, then the load current will be independent of load impedance ZL. And if this condition fulfilled, then we can find the IL from here is IL is equals to minus VI into RF divided by R1 R3, or we can say minus VI by R2. So from this we can say that the load current is proportional to the input voltage. The load current IL, the load current is proportional to the input voltage VI, and also it is independent of ZL. There is no ZL here. The impedance ZL, load impedance. Okay. So from here we can say that the input resistance seen by the voltage source VI, from, if we say see from this side, Ri is what? Is basically infinite and is actually a function of the load impedance ZL. And for a constant IL, a change in the ZL produces a change in VL, which is V2 V1. So similarly in this case, if we a voltage follower may be inserted between the voltage source VI and the resistor R1 here, in order to eliminate any kind of loading effect. If we provide here a voltage follower, then any kind of loading effect we can reduce. So this is another application, which is voltage to current converter. If you solve example 9.5, example 9.5, you should maintain this one. If this relation is not valid, then you need to analyze separately. Okay, in this example. And then one more application is available, another one. Class representative, are you there?
Yes, sir.
তোমাদের একটা কুইজ দেওয়ার কথা ছিল, যে কি হলো কিছু তো বলছো না।
ওইটার তো ডেট ফিক্স হয়েছিল তো।
ডেট ফিক্স করছো, কবে দিবা?
স্যার একটা স্যার।
ওকে, আজকে তোমরা তিন গ্রুপের শেয়ার মিলে ডিসকাস করে আমাকে জানাবা। হ্যাঁ,
আচ্ছা স্যার, আজকে জানাবো।
আজকে জানাবা কবে দিবা।
ওকে।
আর একটা জিনিস আমি দেখাইতে চাচ্ছি, হোল্ড অন। And the discussion of operational amplifier, I'll conclude today. If there is any question, you can ask. Then we will start from next week the frequency response.
Sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I wrote a message in the chat box that I could not join at the beginning due to some problems. So could you please consider that my
attendance দিচ্ছি বাবা, একটু ওয়েট করো please. Wait,
okay,
please. Wait, please.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Oh, yes, please.
Can you show me the previous screen?
Sorry.
Can you show me the previous screen?
Okay, I am presenting another one. Then I am going back.
Yes, sir.
Previous slide.
Yes, it's screen, yes. Yes, we did it
Yes.
today.
Previous screen. Okay. Previous screen is this one, I think. This one. Hello.
No, sir, the second one.
Second one. This one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I can discuss here. Another special kind of amplifier is usually use half wave rectifier, a simple non-inverting amplifier, or you can say the voltage follower circuit. If it is like this, negative, positive, VI. V01 and is the output. What is this circuit? Can you remember this one?
The buffer circuit.
Buffer circuit. We can modify a bit if we connect a load. Here is RL load and current IL, and then if we provide a diode, simple diode here, then it will behave like a half wave rectifier, It will behave like a half wave rectifier, and its corresponding voltage transfer characteristics is look like this one. If plot VI versus V output, and this is precise half wave rectifier, basically 100% half wave rectifier, like this one, for positive cycle and for the negative cycle. The slope is 1. So this is basically a precision half wave rectifier. PRT CI SION, precision HALF, half wave rectifier. This is an special kind of operational amplifier, It's behave like a half wave amplifier. So this is an op amp and diode are combined. Okay, this is an half wave. If you can see, if Vi greater than 0, if Vi greater than 0, what will happen? If Vi greater than 0, the circuit behaves as a voltage follower. Is it or not? If simply Vi greater than 0, the circuit behaves like a voltage follower, and voltage follower means what? V output is equals to what?
So V input.
V input. This is what happened in this section. You see, V output and V input always equal here. So V output and the load current IL, it should be positive, and a positive diode current is induced such that the ID and IL. Okay. And the feedback loop is closed through the forward bias diode. Okay. And what will happen if Vi less than 0? Vi less than 0. Then the output voltage will be negative. If Vi less than 0, then the output voltage tends to go negative. Tends to go negative, which tends to produce a negative load and diode currents. But a negative diode current, is it possible, a negative diode current? Hello?
No, sir.
No. So what will happen? The diode will be cut off. Is it or not? Diode will be cut off.
Yes, sir.
The diode, DIODE, diode will be cut off. Cuts off.
What about the
Then if the diode will be cut off, then V0 will be simply 0, and that's why it happened here. The feedback loop will be broken, so the output voltage will be 0. The rectification is precise in that even at a small
can the diode
ভাই তোমার কথা কেটে যাচ্ছে
in reverse bias?
সরি
স্যার ও বলতে যাচ্ছে মেবি রিভার্স বায়াস হলে কি হবে?
হ্যাঁ সেটা তো তোমার ওইদিকে তো কারেন্ট, নেগেটিভ কারেন্ট কি ফ্লো করে ডায়োডের ভিতর দিয়ে? করবে না তো। সেই ক্ষেত্রে এটা হবে কি, তোমার ডায়োডটা কাট অফ হয়ে যাবে, ওই জায়গাটা ওপেন সার্কিটের মতো বিহেভ করবে। And if it is like an open circuit, then the output voltage will be 0. And that's why for the negative Vi, the output is always 0 here. This one is 0. Oops. And surprisingly, you see here, even for a very small value of Vi is still rectifying, you know. So it's very precise rectifier, very precise half wave rectifier, this one. Okay, then I can conclude here our discussion. Okay, the ID please, who joined later on.
So 213.